Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Today, you might be able to see I am camping. Here is my right here. I set it up yesterday. I did not film. Oh well, that's okay. Obviously, I've got my hammock out. I just, I'm finding the hammock really comfortable these days. I'm about to head off on a hike for the day, so I did remember to go ahead and apply my bug repellent because no ticks. Wow, from the color of that truck, they almost looked like they were a tow truck. It was yellow, but not more matte yellow instead of the bright yellow. Okay, well, I'm gonna hike down to somewhere. Ocean Trail. Okay, you know what? I'll check that one out. Here we go. This trail looks kind of not very well kept, my goodness. 0.8 miles of, wow. And somebody should collect some of that wood. It really shouldn't be left on the ground for extended periods of time to basically become fodder for fires. It's part of why California has such a huge problem with wildfires. This fucking tree hugger policy of it not actually collecting firewood. Not collecting firewood. People used to be able to do that. Wow, this trail is am I even on a trail? Okay. I must be. I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, leaving all of this wood on the ground is part of why our fires seem to get so hot that they become impossible for the firefighters to put out, because there's constantly more fuel. If it was just live trees on the ground, there would not be this problem. The firefighters would be able to put these fires out, but instead they can't, because there's constantly more and more fuel, And these freaking tree huggers, of which I am. I love nature, obviously, given that I try and visit it somewhat frequently. I need it to recharge my soul, visiting God's creation. But people, ever since there have been civilizations, have collected firewood from the forest. That's just, people need fires, That's why we collect firewood. It's how civilizations work, right? Keeping warm, keeping fed, okay? So it's just straight up ridiculous that people can't collect dead wood from the freaking forest when there's plenty of evidence that making that against the law is leading to, oh dear, a tree has gone over trail. Well, let's do something. Let's climb a little bit, I guess. Okay. Okay, I made it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You know, there's plenty of evidence at this point that allowing all of this dead wood to just sit for so long and not collecting any of it is actually bad for the forests. Back in the 50s, people actually used to be allowed to collect it and sell it for a side hustle, you know? But now that's not happening because, well, the trees have to be left where they fall so that all of the nutrients can go back to that area. And I get it, okay? Which is why, interesting. Metal pipes. This must be to prevent the trail erosion. Okay, good. I'm still on the trail. Huh. Interesting. They've put these arrows out there because of deer trails or something. Man, I'm hoping I don't run into any freaking mountain lions. I forgot my spray. I don't know. I think that there's not really, I don't know. I'm not going to say there's nowhere for them to be, because that's not freaking true. They are the ambush killer. You'd think after one of my hikes a couple of months ago I would have learned my lesson and bring my freaking spray with me, but like an idiot, I freaking forgot it back at the truck. Yeah. That definitely makes me feel smart. What the hell? Huh. Somebody picked all of these for some reason. Huh. Interesting. And collecting firewood right there, I guess. Huh. I didn't bring any cordage with me. I should have brought some cordage so that when I find little spots where somebody decided to collect firewood and stash it, that I could just gather it up and take it back to camp for my campfire. It's not like anybody would know it was me. Huh, I think they did some maintenance on this trail recently. That's gotta be why there's all of this stuff dragged off to the side like this. Yeah. Really recently, because there's still fresh sawdust on the ground. Wow, look at that. That tree fell down and... Huh. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just, on the one hand, I guess I get it that, you know, maybe the tree huggers, their hearts are, in theory, in the right place. In theory. On the other hand, how are they so dumb that they haven't seen that the wildfires have gotten worse as a direct result of leaving firewood just on the ground for years? Instead, they're claiming it's global warming. I mean, gosh. Whatever, right? Huh. All this is interesting. Check this out. This is still the trail. I guess these are stairs. That is certainly how I just used them anyways. Okay, yeah, I'm still on the trail. That's good. Huh. It occurs to me that I am using a trail that I did not actually tell my mom that I was going to be taking. That's not good. I did try to, you know, employ that safety measure of notifying someone where I was going to be and what trails I was going to go on, and here I am going on a trail that is none of the 3 trails that I had mentioned to my mom. Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully I don't get back to camp and to discover that somebody stole all my stuff. That would be a nice little swim hole because it looks like there's access to it. And if you look at the rocks, people have clearly used it as a grinding rock area. That is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna pause and get a move on here. guys can hear the ocean, but I can. And yes, it does take some effort to hold on to my tripod instead of my trekking poles. It's just, you know, going, oh wow. On a hiking trip, I can't just keep it only to the interesting views, you know? I'm gonna stop recording when I get to the beach, but in the meantime, I'm gonna just enjoy my walk. Be back with you guys in a few. Look at the cute little wildflowers. They look almost fuzzy, but I know they're not. They're just soft. Okay, let's go. Let's pause that. Well, hello, Raven. Huh, does this even go down to the beach? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna find out with a little bit of exploration. That rock formation there is spectacular. Wow. I am impressed. Not impressed with vault toilets. Never impressed with those. But I understand it would be potentially destructive and also very prohibitive to put in a septic tank and water lines for flushing toilets. Nobody is with their car, so there must be beach access here. No doggies allowed. Probably because it will disturb the wildlife, not because of poo. People always think that it's just because of the poo, and they refuse to acknowledge the fact that wild animals make the wilderness their homes. Huh. There's something over there, too. Huh. Those might just be actual toilets instead of vault toilets. I don't see the venting chimney on that building. Wow, what a gorgeous view. I am just in awe. I don't think there's a beach up over here, but that's okay. Oh, there are fisher people over here. Huh, I wonder if the fishing is any good. He's reeling in. Maybe he caught something. I believe the name of this is Grestle Cove. Definitely worth visiting, especially given that people can just drive their cars down instead of having to hike in. I wonder what she's signaling. Wow. Cool. I could actually hear the, the weight hit the water there. Well, I do not want to disturb the couple having their romantic fishing adventure, so I'm gonna find somewhere else. Maybe. It is a beautiful day, though. I wish there was a little less sun, to be honest. Well, I hope that you guys have enjoyed hiking with me today. This is a beautiful spot, even if there's no beach and no beach access. I'm not going to be taking you guys on my hike back because it's going to be a lot more challenging just because it's a lot more steep. You guys saw the sign. I hope that everyone has a good day. Get back out into the wilderness or work on your yard projects. That's what I'm going to be working on when I get back.